Sunscreen reapplication is one of those topics that's gotten really loud and anxious online lately. They're telling you if you're not reapplying a quarter of a teaspoon of sunscreen to your face every 2 hours perfectly, you're not protected at all. Aiming for perfect sun protection every single time and failing means that people just stop trying altogether. Hey, it's Kelly. Welcome back to my channel where we talk all about how to glow from the inside out. And if you're into that too, definitely hit subscribe so you can see some more content from me. Today, I want to share with you 5 reapplication methods for your sunscreen, including over a full face of makeup. Give the video a big thumbs up, play my intro, and let's dive into it. And one more thing before we get started, all of these methods I'm going to talk about today are reapplication methods, meaning I am assuming that you are still putting on your traditional sunscreen first thing in the morning after you complete your skincare routine. That is what's going to give you the full robust protection. These methods are going to add protection throughout the day on top of that. Method number 1, sunscreen sprays. This is the e.l.f. Untouchable All Set for Sun spray offering SPF 45 protection. Now this uses chemical filters and it is a US formula, so these are going to be the older generation filters. Now here's the thing about sunscreen sprays. They almost universally will contain denatured alcohol. That's a drying form of alcohol. Alcohol in skincare is not universally bad. It actually does serve a purpose, and especially in sunscreen sprays, it's actually playing a really crucial role in allowing the spray to dry on your skin faster, and that is actually what helps to maintain the sun protection of this formula. Sunscreen is designed to create a film on your skin, a protective film. This is what keeps your skin protected from the sun. Alcohol speeds up that setting process by allowing a wet spray like this to dry down quicker, create that film. If it didn't dry down as fast, it would be really easy for it to drip down your face, compromising protection. We want that protective film to form as fast as possible. And that's how alcohol functions in sprays, in sunscreens, in cream formulas, especially the cream formulas tend to feel lighter on the skin because of the function of denatured alcohol. It's not a bad thing, it's just not everybody can tolerate it. Sounds like alcohol, doesn't it? So you would just spray this right on top of your makeup. Make sure to close your eyes, obviously, and maybe hold your breath a little bit as well. Here we go. Okay, we're good. Just waiting to inhale in because there is quite a bit of alcohol smell, as well as just the spray in the air. So makeup is completely untouched. I can feel the wetness is evaporating off of my face immediately, which is really nice. It's drying down very, very fast. Alcohol is a goodie, yes? So this is creating that protective film as we are speaking onto my makeup. No touching, no rubbing, nothing like that. Notice how I applied that multiple pumps, going over each area a few times. Very, very generous sprays. It wasn't a shh, done. This isn't a mist, right? This is protection. And so you want to keep that method in mind for every single reapplication method I'm going to be talking about today. Go over each area multiple times. Be thorough, take your time, and put on a lot more than you think you need. This has a really nice kind of a glowy finish to it, and it feels super light. It's not greasy on my skin at all. It feels amazing. Method number 2, SPF powder. This is the Supergoop resetting powder that offers SPF 35. Now this is a powder zinc oxide product, so this would be a mineral powder. Now I want to be upfront with you, this category of product, like not just this one, but just powders in general, are probably the least protective in terms of sun protection. Just powders in general are very hard to apply to your skin in a thorough, even layer across your skin. However, I do still think there is a place for a product like this, especially for makeup wearers, especially if you use an additional reapplication method. So like the e.l.f. spray that I just put on, you see it did actually create quite a bit of shininess on my skin that I may or may not want. And so perhaps you put your spray on first, right? Let that set. Alcohol does that very quickly. And then you might want to top it off with a powder to take down some of the greasy look, right? Now, this can also be an additional product on top of a regular sunscreen cream, whether you're wearing makeup or not, especially if you're an oily person. You don't like that dewy look because the dewy look don't look dewy, it'll look greasy. You know what I'm saying? This can be good because it's mattifying. I'm going to apply this right now, right on top of that e.l.f. spray. And this is definitely a mattifying powder. This is zinc. If you are very prone to feeling dry and tight in your skin throughout the day, dehydration, I'm going to be real with you. You're not going to want to bother with this. Zinc oxide is quite drying. The application here is not ideal, but it is actually very convenient for the powder to be built into the brush like this. It's easy for on the go. This would be great in a makeup kit that you carry with you to work or in your purse just to top off or set your resetting product. And I am going over each area a few times to really make sure that I've got the product as even as I can, but it's very difficult with a powder product. I know that I'm missing spots. And so I want to show you this. I want to show you how a real person, is doing this in real life. You really do want to go over each area a few times. Don't forget that hairline. So it did take down a little bit of that shininess. I always do have a little bit just because I do tend to get a little bit glowy, greasy in the summer, a little oily, but also I do have quite a bit of sunscreen on underneath my makeup. And then now I have layered a few sunscreen products on top of my makeup, but generally it takes down some of that greasy look. So it can be beneficial. It can set your makeup, but don't rely on it for all of your sunscreen protection. It's really not going to offer robust protection from the sun. Method number 3, a sun pack. This is VT PDRN Glow Sun Pack. It offers SPF 50 plus protection, PA plus 3. Now this uses a hybrid formula of chemical and mineral filters. So this is what I carry in my purse most summers for reapplying on the go, especially over makeup. You saw me carry this all last summer. Got a lot of car content for you where I'm showing you how I'm using this. What I really like about it, it's just like a makeup compact. So there is a mirror in here, which is definitely a convenience factor, especially if you're touching up over makeup, right? But it also means that I can carry this in my purse without fuss. Like it's not going to spill or break or leak or melt. So I just really like the convenience factor for carrying it around, for reapplying. And obviously the method here is really ideal over makeup. Now, technique here matters. The sun cushion will come with a little puff just like this. Kind of if you're familiar with cushion foundations, this is the exact same thing. You want to use that exact same technique. This puff is not meant to swipe. You are not rubbing, you are not swiping, you are not going in any type of motion like this, okay? Do not do that. Not only is that definitely going to mess up your makeup, it's actually going to interfere with the type of sunscreen coverage and protection that you're getting with this type of product. So what you want to do is dab the puff into the cushion foundation. And I just want to be clear with you, I'm not using the PDRN one right now. This is another one from VT. Mine is still in shipping for this year. So build up a good amount of product onto your puff, and then you are going to pat right into your skin. And you are going to really want to be thorough, building that up onto the puff and pat. Do you see what I'm doing? This, not this. That is going to keep your makeup in place. And you want to take your time. Don't rush through this process if you can help it, because this is what is going to give you the best protection possible. And so go over each area in small areas, but also make sure you go over each area about 2 to 3 times. This is going to give you the protection that we're looking for when we're reapplying our sunscreen. With a method like this, it is very easy to miss certain spots. It's very easy to not get an even amount of product in each area. These are just some of the pitfalls of, some of these more convenient reapplication methods Something is better than nothing, remember, but we can always up our protection factor just by applying it the correct way. So I've really worked just on this cheek here, and you can see that my makeup is still intact. And I'm going to show you this cushion puff right now. You can see there is some product, not a lot of product. And I am just being real with you. You know, it isn't always going to be perfect. It will pick up some. But all that being said, my makeup still looks very, very good. And the sun pack can sometimes even offer a little bit of extra something to your skin. Now, the PDRN one that I really recommend is very clear. It doesn't offer any white cast or any shimmery effect to the skin, which is why it's one of my favorite. Method number 4, sun sticks. This is the Beauty of Joseon matte sun stick offering SPF 50 plus PA plus 4 protection. This is a chemical sunscreen using the all new generation chemical filters. Now this has a lot of the same convenience factor as the sun packs do because this is a solid stick sunscreen. So this is really convenient for carrying in a pocket or in a purse. So this is super convenient on the go, obviously. I also carry this in my purse and I have been doing so for at least, this is my 3rd summer, I think, doing that. And I actually just got a fresh stick. I'm really excited to pop this one in my purse. Now, you have seen me recommend actually using this for the tops of your hands when you're driving. I absolutely love this because, you know, you don't really think about your hands a lot when it comes to sunscreen, but when you're driving right on top of the steering wheel, the UV is coming into the windows, right? And it is hitting the tops of your hands. And I don't know if you're anything like me, I can feel the heat. I can feel my skin just soaking up all the damaging UV. And so I do like to make sure that my hands are covered in some way. I often will wear a UV protective, very lightweight sun jacket. I get mine from Uniqlo, and I do have a video kind of talking about some alternative sun protection measures outside of or in addition to sunscreen that you can look at. And they have little long sleeves that cover the tops of your hands with thumb holes. I will use that, but especially if it's really hot. Or if I've forgotten my jacket, this covers me. With the sun sticks, just like with the sun pack and really all of these, again, these convenient application methods, you want to be thorough, you want to put on more than you think you should, and you want to go over each area multiple times. So even for my hands, I will try to do 2 to 3 passes for each area. For an area like your hands, that, you know, going over a couple times goes by very, very quickly. It's very convenient. This can be used for arms, you know, face. It can be used. Tops of feet is another one. If you like sandals, I do. I always get weird tan lines on my feet from my sandals. Carry something like this. But if you want to go over makeup, not my favorite method. I'm going to be real with you. You can though. You can. This will pick up some of your makeup. I'll show you what I mean by that. So you would want to do a pass in each area. And do you see how it's lifting my makeup? Do you see that line right there? That is where my foundation is lifting. Not all of it, but it is getting disturbed. And I will show you where it is on the stick. And that was just like 3 passes. So imagine doing that all over your face. It's not ideal for over makeup. But if it's a no makeup day, if you don't wear makeup, if you're thinking about other areas, like I was saying, hands, feet, tops of shoulders, all of that, it's a convenient method to carry with you. And to clean, you know, simply wipe it away. There are preservatives in here that help to resist the microbial growth. Method number 5, the puff method. So this is the method that I want you to pay the most attention to in this video because it is the method that is going to offer the most robust coverage on reapplication, and it works great over a full face of makeup, trust me. So what you'll need is your good old sunscreen. Now this could be the same sunscreen that you put in a nice even layer on your face first thing in the morning. You don't need a separate sunscreen product for this, making this method probably the most budget friendly as well. One thing you may need to invest in, and it's a very minimal cost, is a ruby cell puff. Now this is a specific type of sponge that you would find in a cushion foundation from like K-Beauty and J-Beauty brands. And if you have one of those lying around that you no longer use, you can wash this puff and then let it air dry and you can reuse it. So you might not even have to buy one of these. You might already have one. You can also use a beauty blender sponge, like a makeup sponge. You can absolutely use that. Again, it's something that you probably already have at home, especially if you're a makeup wearer. But if you like to get a whole new one or multiple fresh ones, you can buy these on K-beauty sites. So the one that I have here is from Hamish. I believe it was a pack of 5 that I bought on Yes Style. And you can check out the pinned comment. I'm going to put links to a couple of different options, different retailers for you if you're at a loss of where to buy these. So let me show you how this works, because this is a method that I have personally been using for many, many years, particularly when I'm wearing a full face of makeup and I want very good, robust reapplication coverage. So using your sunscreen, you're actually going to directly dot the product onto your face. Now, if you don't want to put this up to your face, you could certainly put it on the back of your hand and then dot it onto your face. But it's really important that you apply it in this manner, because this is how we're going to get that robust coverage. We're going to put some even dots all over our face, and we're aiming to get at least 50 dots for the entire face. I'm not even talking about your neck. 50 dots. So definitely be generous and take your time. So this is obviously going to work better with cream sunscreens. If you have something super duper liquidy, you'll just want to be careful as you are placing it onto your skin, especially if you're trying to avoid messing up your makeup. So there we go. I know, trust the process. So even dots here is really important, because this is how we're getting the best protection. We're going to pat these dots directly into the skin. So you don't want to have a lot of large gapes, and you want to try to have as much of an even distribution of product in the dots as possible. I feel like a monster from a movie or something. Like these are the spikes coming out of my face. I know this looks crazy. It's not the most discreet method. I have done this in my car though. That is how convenient it is to do something like this on the go. Now, I genuinely prefer this application method, dotting onto the skin, rather than putting product onto the back of the hand and patting the cushion into it. You're not going to get as even of coverage if you apply it that way. Certainly this will give you something, and if you feel more comfortable doing that, by all means, go ahead. But if you are looking for the most robust coverage, especially over a full face of foundation, this is how you're going to achieve it, because you see how these dots are evenly spread across my skin. I'm going to pat that into my skin now, pressing it into my skin, not wiping, not swiping. So just pat, 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 pat. This will slightly pick up some blush, some of your foundation. Certainly it will. All of the methods that rely on tapping or patting into the skin will pick up a little bit. This method takes about 5 minutes on average. And if you do need to do a little bit of touch up on top of that, maybe give yourself 10 minutes. I'm using a chemical formula today. It does not have much of a white cast. This is the Beauty of Joseon Relief Probiotics sunscreen. You can do this method with a mineral sunscreen, but do know that you might have to pat into the skin a lot more depending on what kind of mineral formulation you're working with. So of course we do, want to keep in mind that more elegant formulas will work better with this method than the sunscreens that you really have to rub, like truly rub into your skin. So keep that in mind. And that's the method. Look at that. My makeup is intact. There's a full layer of sunscreen now on top of my makeup. And this is offering you very good protection that you can control. You saw how many dots I put on, how evenly those were spaced on my skin, and how I pressed that in. And I was really able to get into all the little corners around my nose and around the hairline with the puff. So for me and that peace of mind, this is really one of the best methods. Plus, it's incredibly affordable. I mean, this is a budget hack. So now that you've seen all 5 methods, I want to honestly talk about how they compare to each other in terms of protection. So the most protective reapplication method in this video is going to be the puff method. Next, the sunscreen stick. Third is the sun pack. Fourth being the spray, and fifth, the sunscreen powder. And don't let this list make you feel like you're failing at sunscreen. The goal is to do it, not to do it perfectly. The best sunscreen for you or reapplication method, the best one is the one you're actually going to do. And of course, if you're at home not wearing makeup, the best reapplication is going to be just another layer of your sunscreen with your good old hands. So I'm curious, how do you reapply your sunscreen? Let us all know in the comments below. And how do you feel about, something is better than nothing? I definitely have tried to be perfect with my sunscreen use throughout my skincare journey, but I will tell you that I honestly just feel good knowing that I'm wearing the darn thing in the morning and I'm doing the best that I can throughout the day to protect my skin, while also using sensible measures like avoiding direct sun, wearing hats, sunglasses, and I feel comfortable with that. So I'm curious about your thoughts with this philosophy as well. Does sunscreen kind of give you anxiety? Let me know in the comments. Let's get that discussion going. If you loved this video, you found it helpful, or you like this philosophy around sunscreen and skincare, definitely hit subscribe and come join our skincare community. I love you so much. Thanks for being here with me today. And I just want to encourage you to keep shining your bright, beautiful individual light out there into the world. We need you. I love you. And I can't wait to talk to you in the next video. Bye.